If you're using the 3-draft approach or something similar, your first drafts are likely to be messy. But that's okay, that's what a draft is for. Professor Pat Thompson from the University of Nottingham has suggested a step-by-step method for tackling your messy first drafts. Step 1. Read through the draft and pull out the 1 or 2 sentences that seem to sum up what you're trying to say, the point you want to make. Or, if there isn't a ready-made sentence or two, then write a sentence which captures the argument you want to make, the single most important point and thing that you want your reader to remember when you've finished. Then, print out the key sentence or two and put it where you can see it while you're at your computer. Stick it above the screen or put it next to it. Or you could use one of those post-it apps and cut and paste your key sentence or two into a note and place it so that you can see it while you're working on that messy draft. Step 2. Now, type out this list. 1. Provide context, provide background. 2. Clarify, define, specify. 3. Connect the topic to wider knowledges referring to the literatures, policy or practice. 4. Report. Provide an audit trail of what you did. 5. Illustrate, exemplify, support, provide evidence, prove. 6. Complicate. Anticipate counterargument, provide nuance. And 7. Extend, draw out implications. Put this list on another printout or post-it and place it somewhere close to your key sentences, as long as the list is where you can see them both whilst you're working on the messy draft. Step 3. Go through your messy draft, either on screen or as a printout. Examine each paragraph to see what it does in relation to the point that you want to make. Ask yourself, does this paragraph provide context, clarify, provide background, illustrate, complicate, or extend the point I want to make? Write or type the appropriate number at the start of each paragraph. 1 for context, 2 for clarify, and so on, whatever is appropriate. At the end of this question and number exercise, you may be left with paragraphs or chunks that do not have a number. The leftovers can now be put to one side. Leave them be in the first draft. And don't worry about abandoning them. You can always get them again if you suddenly find that you need any of them. But these surplus paragraphs have probably done their job. Step 4. Cut and paste the sentence or two which has the point you're making onto the top of a new document. Now, cut and paste all the numbered paragraphs in order, 1 to 7, into that new document. You now have the beginnings of a reordered document in which you introduce the topic, provide context and background and say why it is important, clarify, define and specify your terms, saying what you will and won't do, connect the topic to wider knowledges, the relevant literatures, policy, context and so on, report, provide an audit trail of what you did and explain your methodology in research design and its limits, illustrate, exemplify, support, provide evidence and prove, reporting on your research results, complicate, anticipate counterargument and provide nuance, discuss and perhaps theorise your results, connecting them back to those wider literatures, and then extend, draw out implications, conclude your argument, offering answers to the so what and now what questions. Step 5. You can now go through each section 1 to 7, putting the paragraphs into a logical order. You can shuffle them around until they make sense, inserting new paragraphs if necessary. This new document is now well on its way to being a complete redraft.